Oh yeah,
I
you did.
did.
Look at that.
I did.
We're live. Yeah.
It's it is live happening now.
Is
Okay.
this being shared on social media right now?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let the other guys do. I'm
I'm
going to
gonna go
share.
and share it so people
Okay.
tune in.
Hi everybody. We're just sharing right now so people can
Yeah, just bear with us just a
just
moment.
bear with us. Stand by.
Is there a
Um,
bear with us? Is this a cry for help? No,
I'm gonna
no bear.
share it to the
if
group as
anybody
well.
shoots it, just let me know because I need the bear fat. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, boom.
So
It's good
why
because
are
I
we
want
getting
bear
into this?
sausage.
All right.
Bear fat, bear sausage, check.
Okay, so why don't we welcome our guest tonight? And it's some breaking news from the CCFR. Tracy Wilson, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so if for those of you who don't know Tracy Wilson is the our registered lobbyist for the CCFR, the Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights. She's a friend of the CCFR, and she's one of our guests that we've had on most because she's our expert on what's happening in the gun community. So there was some breaking news today. Tracy, do you want to let everybody know about it?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, just about a week after we filed in the federal court an injunction application to force the Liberal government to extend the amnesty that protects gun owners whose property was banned in May of 2020, that's about to expire. So we filed an injunction just last week. And wouldn't you know it, here the government announced today, not only are they going to extend that amnesty to continue that protection from gun owners and avoid criminality, they're going to extend it past the next election. So until October 30th of 2025. So another 2 years. So just to recap, these are the guns that were banned back in May of 2020, the AR-15, along with, 1,500, actually, I think we're up to about 2,000 other models and variants that have been banned by this government. Guns that are too dangerous for civilians to own, weapons of war, all the things they said about it. Guns too dangerous for you to continue owning, so dangerous that you're being forced to continue owning them for a minimum of 5.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they announced today. So much to the chagrin of the anti-gun lobbies, we've got a little more time. Of course, we are still waiting for our decision out of the federal court. Justice Kane has told us that she will announce her ruling in the main court challenge against that OIC gun ban by the end of the month.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see what that all means. But for now, you're not going to prison for owning the property you've owned safely and without issue for decades.
Okay.
Do
So
these influence each other? Does the
that's what
amnesty have any effect on the Kane decision?
No, I mean, the amnesty basically, the only purpose it served was it sort of protected gun owners from being exposed to criminality. In other words, you would have been in illegal possession of a prohibited device, which carries a mandatory jail sentence. So, yeah, you could go to prison for owning this stuff, even though you've owned it legally, safely, and without issue for decades. So, it's already been extended once. Of course, the
Mhm.
government has no idea how to put together a confiscation program of this magnitude. And that's because it's logistically impossible. I've said that from the very beginning. They have no idea how to do it. And that's because it simply can't be done. So they've extended it once before. And this time they extended it for a full 2 years, which takes us to the week after the next scheduled federal election, which is interesting timing.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking that can far enough down the road that they'll be able to use it for political reasons in the
Yep.
next election, reelect us, and we'll really
Oh,
promise to
really?
get it done this time. And no doubt the anti-gun lobby groups will fall for that hook, line,
Yeah.
and sinker again.
It's one of the things I think that as weird as it sounds, I think that the Liberal government is not unhappy about the extension that it was granted because again, they ran the past two elections on this specifically, and it's one of the reasons that they won. So,
Yeah, I got to tell you though, they've made a fatal mistake here though, because at that point, by the time, just saying, with a minority government, you can be in an election situation at any time, right?
correct.
All we
Yep.
need is Jagmeet to stop his support or something major to happen. We could be in an election anytime. But the latest we can be in an election is October of 2025, that we will legally be required to have one by then.
Mhm.
And the problem here is at that point, we will have continued to own and possess all of these firearms for 5.5 years.
Yep.
Blood will not run through the streets. The imminent danger that they apparently told Canadians that these firearms posed, putting Canadians at risk in communities all across the country. None of that will have come to fruition. So to keep pounding that gun ban javel, I don't think it's going to really work, because they've used it and reused it and recycled it so many times that nobody's going to buy it this time. And meanwhile, we see actual crime, violence, and gun smuggling continuing to increase in our major cities, at our borders. And I think it's going to be a pretty worn out election promise by that time. And their public safety record speaks for itself. It's been a complete failure.
And the bail system became a huge story the last little while
Mhm.
too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with Bill C-75, another liberal bill, as well as Bill C-5, they've, of course, decreased the penalties for some very serious gun crimes, and it's
They're
just
keeping
such
me
a
in the
weird paradigm that we're in when they're, lessening sentencing and, being soft on crime, but being really
Yeah.
hard on gun owners. That now they've had to introduce bail reform legislation to sort of counteract their own legislation.
mhm.
It's such a mess at this point. Law enforcement has had it with them. You
Yeah.
hear from police
Yep,
chiefs
seen
across the
that.
country.
Yeah.
They are putting their police officers at grave risk, and we are seeing the results of that play out, and it's devastating. So,
Yeah.
this is a file that, amongst all the other files they've bungled, it's been absolutely disastrous for them.
I think that's one of the reasons why there was a recent change in the cabinet as well. And what are your thoughts on the new public safety minister?
Well, Dominic LeBlanc, it's interesting because public safety is a pretty big file, right? There's a lot that falls under that purview aside from just firearm regulation. And before, it was always, the role was public safety and emergency preparedness. They sort of
Mm.
go hand in hand. The Liberal government separated that with Bill Blair's departure from the file. They left him at that time with emergency preparedness, and then separated off public safety on its own. It was so important, it needed its own minister, Marco Mendicino, to study it and take care of it. And here, with the last cabinet shuffle, they took Dominic LeBlanc, who already was a minister, and just dumped it on top of his already existing portfolio. So it sort of kind of speaks to the fact that public safety is an actual afterthought for this government. However, LeBlanc himself is looked at as more of a serious person, like a more serious parliamentarian, as opposed to Marco Mendicino, who devolved into basically a Twitter troll during his time. Bill Blair, who just kind of stumbled and bumbled through everything. And now he's got a really nice appointment in national defense, one of the highest positions. So yeah, he's failed upward. But Dominic LeBlanc was looked at as a far more serious player. Now, just last week, we found out the parliamentary secretary, which is basically the assistant to that minister, is Jennifer O'Connell. And I look at her, and she's not a very serious parliamentarian. They
No.
just sort of throw her on as a token on almost every committee. So she's making upwards of $250,000 just by virtue of being on basically every committee. A female millennial talking head for the Liberals. But we put a couple of cool clips about her in our last CCFR podcast. Just her antics in the House of Commons. And I hate to use such a rhetorical thing like saying a pearl clutcher, but that's exactly what she is. I wouldn't be surprised at all if she pulled up a fainting couch right into committee. And yeah, it's pretty wild. So some of the players they're putting in are very unserious players.
Yeah.
Um, C-21's already made its way through the House process and currently sits with the Senate. So I don't know that they've got a lot on their table as far as gun control goes. I don't like they haven't been able to get any of this stuff off the ground. So I don't see them trying anything new right now. But I never, ever for 1 minute assume that the Liberals won't completely, make a liar out of me and just do something ridiculous. You never know what they're going to do to gun owners.
There's always something new.
Oh, yeah.
Every time that we think, you know what, it couldn't get any worse. Here, hold my beer. Uh,
Yeah, they continue to surprise us.
yes. Yeah,
Yes.
they really do.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts and just overall impressions of today's announcement? What's going to be happening with the rendering of the decision?
Well, I did read some emails between our legal team and Crown Counsel for the government because that we filed an injunction application to force the government to extend the amnesty.
Yeah.
I personally, speaking to members, I speak to a lot of members every week, and this was really weighing heavy on the minds of a lot of people. People are starting to get worried and actually panic about the amnesty running out. So, I know some other smaller organizations have said, it would be a lot of work and money to file it, but we've never been scared of hard work or spending money. And it wasn't all in all very expensive to do. And to me, there's no price tag that we could put on the, freedom and future of gun owners. So anyways, we filed the injunction application. There were some communications today. McKinnon, who's counsel for the government, sent an email with the announcement, and our counsel looked at it and said, well, that's great. It was kind of quietly tucked into a website, but the proper avenue for these types of things, of course, is to publish it in the Canada Gazette. That's when it becomes official. So an announcement's great, but an announcement isn't the actual thing. So we will withdraw our application once it appears in the Canada Gazette and becomes official.
Mhm.
So far, it's just an announcement on a website. So although I assume it's genuine, again, we never put anything past these guys. So yeah, so we would have had a hearing for that on October 25th. Obviously, we don't need to do that now.
No.
Which is great. I mean, the
Mhm.
least amount of time we can spend in court on frivolous things, the better.
More money to put towards other things as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we should have that ruling from Justice Kane on the main actual court challenge by the end of the month. So lots of moving parts, lots of things happening, and a lot hinges on it. I know a lot of people have asked me, what do we do if we lose? Well, and if we lose, we just keep doing what the CCFR does, and that's fight. So
Right.
we'll appeal it. And I assume if we win, the government will do the same, right?
So currently, right now, a lot of people are getting these letters again. They're letters about surrendering your firearms in preparation of any decisions, or they're saying they're
No, the letters that were going out just recently were
Mhm.
about a model of Tavor.
Oh, okay.
I've got a Tavor X95. It's not that one. It was a very specific model that was
Yep.
misclassified.
It was the shorter barreled, even though they're all shorter barreled.
Yeah, it had something to do with the fact that these were when a firearm is going to be classified, a new firearm comes in.
Yep.
The distributor has a verifier that sends the information to the RCMP lab, and I've been through this whole process, or at least talked through it
Yeah, it
with
was
Well Senior. He's done this many times and actually fought many classifications in one. So what they do is they say, okay, here's the new gun, here's all the specs, here's all the stuff that's happening with it. According
Yeah.
to the classification system, this is a restricted firearm. And the lab says, yeah, okay, cool. That's great. They classify it. It's brought in, sent to retailers, and, gun owners like you and I would go and buy it. The problem is once the RCMP lab got an actual physical rifle in their lab, they realized, the information from the verifier does not match the actual firearm. And this is a converted full auto. I don't agree that those if it's converted and is no longer able to be full auto, then it's not full auto. Like, I don't agree with that classification, but according to the law and the way it is, the RCMP lab is correct, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that's
Thank
my
you.
understanding of it. But those letters that went out were specifically to those owners, because those specific divorce would have been restricted if the verifier information was correct. So
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that, because
yeah,
some people
so
were asking about it, and
yeah,
there was
I've had a
there was
lot of
a
emails
there
asking
was
if we're
a
going to launch a court challenge against it, and it's like, it's not an
not
RCMP screw up.
no.
It's actually from my understanding, it's a screw up from the verifiers. So I would
Right.
be looking to the distributor to make good on that, because I think there's about 200 of them sold, and it really sucks for those gun owners, because they can't have them. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
somebody's
Yeah.
got to make it right.
41 Alpha says it's a bullpup, not a short barrel. You are correct. It actually, but it is a little bit of a shorter bullpup.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, these
Yeah.
ones were
I was
restricted, so they
I was
did have
looking
a
at it. Yeah,
short barrel.
barrel. They're 13. I think they were 13.
Yeah.
Um,
Runkle's got a video on this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Tracy, we got a couple of questions on Discord and maybe a couple coming up here. In your assessment, what's the likelihood of the Conservative government kind of rolling things back, and what do you think they're going to roll things back to? 2020 OIC, handgun freeze, like what's likely here?
all of that. So there's been a commitment from the Conservative Party that all these years and resources and efforts focused on deciding, ban this, freeze that, maybe we should ban that, maybe we should freeze that up. Like, it's ridiculous. It's done nothing for public safety. In fact, all it's done is divide Canadians. So their approach is quite different from the Liberals, where they would like to focus on experts and look at credible public safety measures to reduce gun smuggling, actual crime, violence. So even today, out of Raquel Doncho's office, she reiterated that yes, they would absolutely repeal the May 2020 OIC. Of course, I would love to save them the political risk in doing that and winning court. And I think that would probably be the best thing for both the Liberals and the Conservatives. Liberals could throw their hands up and say, we tried. And the Conservatives wouldn't have to, deal with the assault that they will from the Liberals saying that they're going to put AR-15s in the streets or whatever ridiculous thing that they'll try and do. Right.
Right.
But their focus isn't going to be so much on gun owners. And in fact, I think looking at the Firearms Act, it's been amended and parts of it repealed and parts of it put back so many times. I think it is time to sort of modernize it and make it that, if the average Canadian needs a legal team to sit down and figure out if something is legal or not, it's not okay. Our freedom and our lives are kind of at risk here, right? I'm not prepared to go to prison for 10 years. So I need to know and understand the law, but it's such a mess. And when you read it, section 118.6 is crossed out and this instead, and it's all over the place. So, I hate to use the word rewrite, but I think that's kind of where we're at. And at bare minimum, they will return us to where we were before all these shenanigans. And then I think there's probably some things that can be done, that would increase public safety that are super, super easy. Like, you think about C71 and all these burdensome bills with all their measures that have been placing more and more burden on the provincial CFOs, dating all the way back to C71. All this stuff's been dumped on them. You've got to verify people's pals, and you got to do this, and you got to get reference numbers. But meanwhile, there's been no more funding allocated to the provinces to do that stuff. So they were already working at, stretched thin as you can imagine. And then all of this. So that's why you're seeing license renewals or license applications taking 6 months to a year or even longer. Like, it's ridiculous. There are no service standards because they're just overwhelmed. So what I would like to see is some of that funding rerouted back into properly funding the CFOs. We've got tools in the toolbox already, public safety tools that aren't being implemented. I did an ATIP on a very simple question I had. And, we all know that when you fill out your firearms application or your renewal application, it asks you to provide 2 references. And
Mhm.
then Moose. Sorry, the dog's having a nightmare. Your 2 references and the information from your spouse. Now, I know I personally have been a reference for probably about 200 gun owners. And guess how many times I've ever been contacted to provide that reference? 0. Never. Even my
Huh.
references, they've never contacted my references.
Really?
I indicated on one of my renewals back when that I had the breakdown of a significant relationship after 17 years, a relationship breakup. That's a major trigger. That should have provoked a phone call to my ex or a phone call to me as his ex, right? These are tools that already exist. This isn't more regulation or more burdens put on gun owners. These are the tools that already exist that are at their disposal that they're not using. My ATIP showed less than 10% of references are even checked. And to me, I think about it, and if when you're doing your application and you do the test and you do the course and you do all the stuff, and then they do the criminal record background check, that's great. That's all good stuff. But who to know better than the very people who are closest to you? So if I put down Kelly as my reference, and they call her up and say, "Hey, Kelly, we're just checking out this application for Tracy Wilson. Do you have any concerns about her being a firearms owner?" There's been cases in our history where people have gotten licenses and then done terrible things.
Yeah.
And those references were never called. I just
Mhm.
wonder why we can't do something as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
It already exists. We're already exposed to it. I'm not advocating for more regulation. I'm advocating for just use the stuff you've already got before you start talking about doing more to us, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that all roots back to a failure to properly fund the program. They don't have time to check references. They're so bogged down with everything else.
Yeah, it's something so simple,
No,
but
and you're absolutely right.
there are people out there who can't find 2 people to say good things about them.
Yeah.
And those are the people that you need to call a reference for.
Yeah. I mean, at least do better than less than 10%. Like it's not
Yeah.
even percent. And I mean, for the most part, our system, works fairly well and does what it's supposed to do. But, there have been a small number of times that I think a phone call to that person's references may have made a big difference, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to point out that there's been a lot of discussion recently with the new budgets that are going to be coming out that our governmental departments are going to be asked to slash basically we're going to be cutting. Our budgets are being cut. We know that, but also we are being asked to save money too. So I'm talking about CBSA. I'm talking about the RCMP. I'm talking about all the other departments. And what does that mean? What does it mean for public safety? What does it mean for catching people coming across the border with, 30 Glocks in their back seat? What does it mean for keeping people behind bars, and what does it mean for getting your registrations to you in a timely and quickly manner, or let's not even talk about getting your registrations to you, but let's talk about getting doing those checks, because if it's only 10% now, I hate to tell you what it's going to be like in about a year.
Well, and this is a problem when you've spent yourself into such enormous debt that, we may never see the end of it. This is what happens eventually, that, spending spree blows up in their face and has to be cut. And it's, unfortunately, you've already seen National Defense Minister
$1
Bill
billion.
Blair talk about slashing the military budget by $1 billion. I know that's kind of off topic, but I'm thinking the military's gutted so badly.
We're the Canadian military. We have nothing.
Yeah.
We have
nothing.
Literally nothing.
We
I
can't.
can't tell you what I spend personally as an army mom on kit, because the stuff she brings home is broken, used junk, right? So I don't know, man. And that doesn't help with morale. I was reading a story out of the National Post today that you've got Canadian soldiers, literally begging for donations for food.
That's sad.
Well, yeah, the wages are
absolutely true.
low in the military for sure.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the military because we're all going to get angry about that. Let's talk about guns, which we're also going to get angry about.
We'd get angry about anything. So what is it?
Well, with the references, we had a comment here said that new people who apply for PAL applications, their references now get an email and they have to verify it by following a link.
Wow, that's new. Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Well, I don't know. I know I got an email. Well, I guess a message from the CFP because my license is up for renewal in less than a year. So I got to get on it because Lord knows how long it'll take. My last one took 16 days, but I don't anticipate that happening this time. But,
Tracy Wilson,
yeah,
they
we'll
lobby
see.
us. We're going to hold this one up.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to say, like the CFO
No.
here in Ontario, and I deal with CFOs all across the country
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons for our members. I gotta say, like other than Quebec, I've had a very good experience with the CFOs. Like for the most part, they've been really helpful and just trying to keep people in or get people in compliance. You know, I don't quite look at the people on the end of the phone the same way I look at the government. So
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a different level with different CFOs, though, we have to admit. When we're
Yeah.
talking about Alberta, Terry's pretty great.
Awesome.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if we all were so lucky to have
I
a CFO
know.
like Terry Bryant?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can dream.
Yes. We
Yeah.
can. Oh, okay. Is there anything else? Any other comments that you actually think that we need to chit
Well, there
chat
was
about?
two starred here. Question: if OIC is overturned and C21 is not passed, does the RCMP have to immediately issue our certificates?
Yeah, that's interesting. Actually, I was talking to Loberg. Michael Loberg is the general counsel for the CCFR, and we were having a conversation about that because people are asking, well, if we win, what happens? Like if it's overturned at the moment of the decision, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, like I don't know. Do our old reg certs just automatically become good again? Do we even have them? Like those things I don't know. So there's some technical stuff there that we've got to work out, assuming we win. But yeah, they would have to reissue those, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have
Imagine
to.
the job that would be.
Just stupid silly. Imagine it was something like, hey, okay, so we nullified, so these were actually wiped from the database, so now we want you to do the honest thing and send us your information for what you have.
I'm going to tell you right now.
They didn't wipe them from the
They
database.
didn't
No,
wipe
I
them
know.
from the
It's a
database.
lovely thought, but
I have so many memes popping in my head, like it's a trap, you know.
They are not
No, they didn't
nullified.
wipe anything from the
No.
database.
No.
They know exactly what you've got as
Yeah.
far as the stuff that's registered.
They still have the long gun registry sitting there, so
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I look back to the days of the long gun registry. You know, I'm showing my age here, but I'm definitely old enough to remember that fiasco that it was. And even at the time that, you know, people were registering, everyone I know did the same thing. It's like, okay, let's open the gun cabinet. We're just going to register the bare minimum. You know, here's my deer rifle, here's my shotgun. Like you registered the stuff you use most, and that was it. So it was never actually accurate back then,
No.
let alone now. I don't know that I probably have all that stuff that I had then because I've never actually sold a firearm in my entire life. I'm an acquire only type of girl.
That's me too.
Yeah, I've never
Totally.
actually gotten rid of anything, so
I
I'm a
don't
bit
sell
of a
shit.
hoarder that
Me too.
way. But I mean, regardless, the records would be completely useless at this
Oh, yeah.
point, anyways. But
yeah, it just shows that at one point you owned this.
yeah, at one point you own them, and yeah, that's the other difficulty with carrying out this confiscation program. I'm not going to call it a
Correct.
buyback
Right?
for obvious reasons. But that's another reason why it's literally impossible is because they're relying on you to willingly comply. As far as everything besides the ARs or anything restricted, the majority of the guns they banned were non-restricted.
Non-restricted.
Mhm.
They have no idea
No
who's got what or
registration.
where.
Yeah.
So they would be completely reliant on you being, okay, here's my 50, here's my Stag 10, here's all the stuff that was previously non-restricted.
Yep.
Yeah, like who would do? I don't know.
Who is ever
I-
listening, I have nothing left. Just
I
saying.
can't say I know anybody that was like, hey, yeah, okay, I'm that little peon. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
I sold all my guns.
What guns?
I moved.
He has a back of-
The background. That's just the background.
There's no guns. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's the other problem. And I think they know that. So aside from the 90 some thousand AR-15s, it's an impossible task. And even those, to round up 90,000 guns from across the country would be a massive undertaking, a
Mhm.
huge security risk, and just a total nightmare because nobody wants to do it either,
Yeah.
which is a big problem for the Liberals. But to include everything that was included in that ban, all the previously non-restricted, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, the good news is, unfortunately, it's kind of, sucks for people who maybe wanted to participate, although I have no idea why anybody would. I'm perfectly happy to leave my safe queen sitting there looking beautiful while we wait for a sunnier day. But yeah, it's just a big mess, but perfectly typically Liberal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Buffoonery.
We had another comment here from Richard saying, Tracy, any news / leaks from the recent meeting between public safety and the provinces?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I do I do normally get a lot of leaks. I know Alberta, the last time they had this meeting, the former public safety minister from Alberta, Tyler Shandro, leaked me a bunch of stuff that I got out there. And that's actually when we knew they were going to extend the amnesty last time. So no, I have not spoken to the provincial counterparts yet. Of course, today was just I had a bunch of stuff on my agenda to get done today, and it got completely wiped out because I was busy doing media all day long, and conservative MPs and all kinds of people reaching out, wanting to know what's true and what's not true, because there was also some false information floating around, or just not accurate information, I should say. But no, I haven't had a chance to speak to the provincial counterparts, but I totally intend to. We've got a couple of friendly provinces that usually, send me some good information. But yeah, you'll notice the new Alberta Minister of Justice has been tweeting out a few things. So I follow him quite closely, Mickey. And
Mhm.
we'll have more on that shortly. But yeah, I'll have some leaks on it for sure.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was an exciting day in Tracy Wilson's world, the CCFR, as well as Slamfire Radios and everybody else, gun owners here in Canada. As much as we don't want to be going through this, we thank you and the CCFR every day for fighting for us and fighting for our rights.
Well, we'll
'cause-
keep at it, and
Yep.
make sure to reach out to me once we get that decision. Either way,
'Kay.
that court decision should be here by the end of the month. That's going to be massive news.
Mhm.
I always hope for the best and prepare for the worst, but
Mhm.
either way, even if it's not good news, it just means we move on to the next battle and
Mhm.
we appeal it. So
So
yeah,
I
we're
am
not
going
gonna
to
fight.
ask. So you keep talking about moving on, keeping fighting, and these battles take money and take
Yeah.
support. So how can people support the CCFR and support themselves?
Well, you can head over to ccfr.ca and support us there. Of course, being a member is actually really important.
Mhm.
I know Rod will be testifying at the upcoming Senate committee meeting for C21. And when we speak at these things, or even when we speak to media, it's really important to be able to say we speak for X amount of people, right? And that's
Mhm.
pretty meaningful. So being a member is super important. There's a link on the website too to donate to the legal fund. Every penny of that goes directly into the legal fund. We've paid the court bills. We are up to date. Everything's paid. We did not raise quite what we spent. Of course, being the lead case, doing the majority of the work and paying for the majority of the expenses along the way, it was pretty costly. But
Yeah.
when we do something, we don't do it halfway. We don't cut corners or scale back. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it full bore. So yeah, so we've spent a bit of money, like $2.3 million in court. which is an insane amount of money that I feel could have done some good other ways, but not fighting them isn't an option for us. So yeah, you can support us. And then, of course, follow us on our socials and share our stuff. It's a tough economy out there. And Rod and I always say, I hate to always be walking around with my hand out asking for help. So if you're not in a position to help, don't. Like financially, don't. What really helps as well, sharing our content on the social media platforms. We're on Discord now. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. You can sign up for e-blasts on our website. Every Friday, we send out a newsletter. We don't harass you with a whole bunch of repetitive stories you've already heard. It's all original content. And of course, check out the CCFR Radio podcast and CCFR Radio on the air, airing nationally on Wild TV. So,
Oh, there's a CCFR Discord. Is there a CCFR Discord?
Yeah, there's a new. I don't know how to work it. Our social media guy got it. So he was telling me about it this morning and showing me screenshots of what it looks like. And I'm like, I guess I got to download the app. So I'm on there. I just have no idea what I'm doing. So
Tracy, you and I can, when we're hanging out in the next little while, I'll help you out. But you and I are in the same boat.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It keeps going off. So something's happening, but I have no idea what's happening. As you know, I'm the Twitter queen. Because now you can't even share links on Facebook anymore, which
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why I suck on Instagram too, is because it's all about pictures and nice things. And unfortunately, that's not the world I live in. I'm all about news and, fighting and controversy.
I'll ask one of your social media compliant field officers for that link.
Yeah. So I'm definitely pretty active on Twitter, which seems to be, thank you, Elon Musk. It seems to be kind of the last bastion of free speech, and you're able to put basically almost anything you want on there, which is great. Not that I'm posting anything too crazy, but yeah, at least I can post links and information.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Instagram, a match video you can't share it elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get the hang of Instagram. It's about pictures, and I'm more about information. So it's difficult for me because I'm not a photographer.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, check us out on Discord, and I will also try and check us out on Discord.
Excellent.
We're going to find the link. We're going to share it.
So one of your moderators is currently listening. He's just
there we go.
posted it here. So if you go into our comments, either on Facebook or on YouTube, you can see where people can join on Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just kind of getting the hang of it, but it's been highly requested by people. I had a guy at TACOM just like, drill it into me. We need Discord. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. But
it's for younger people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not younger.
I'm not younger either.
I'm not younger.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get the hang of it. I'm sure of it.
You will.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, you will. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks so much for coming on. Unless you have anything else.
I don't think so, but we'll probably talk again towards the end of the month once we get a ruling, and I can pop back on, and hopefully we'll be celebrating and heading to the range right after a show.
Right? We'll all break out our ARs.
That'll be great.
Woot.
Yeah.
If you can do that, that'd be great. Just as an FYI, both Tracy as well as Anna and Kelly and Tamara and I, we've been working furiously and fast and having meetings on the regular to try and get those calendars ready for launch in November-ish. So
yes,
watch out for that too, right, Tracy?
Yeah, that's a really important project because the funding that we raise from selling those calendars goes to fund ladies' range days all across the country. Absolutely. And there's a method to our madness. And the idea is women vote. And the very best way to influence someone's opinions about guns and gun ownership is to take them to the range. You can fight on Twitter all day long. At the end of it, I always say to people who are arguing with me on Twitter about guns, why don't we just go to the range? We can talk about it there. Let's give it a try. Come and check it out. And those who do end up agreeing with me. So so that's kind of the idea, is to infiltrate the soccer mom world and get them out to the range and influence their voting habits.
Exactly.
It's a big master plan.
I like it.
Mhm. It's our
Yeah.
plan to
Plus,
take
it's
over
hot
the
girls
world.
and guns. So who doesn't like it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks so much. I know you're tired.
Yes,
Been a
I
long day
know. I
for you.
actually feel like a train wreck. I'm going to go sit in the hot tub with the grandkid and then hit the sheets.
Enjoy.
All right. Thanks so much again for representing us so well,
Yeah.
especially in the
Awesome.
media.
Well, thanks for having me, guys, and have a
Thank
great
you,
show.
Tracy.
Okay. Bye,
Good night,
guys.
Grace. Bye.
Bye.
Oakley dokley.
Neighborino.
Okay, Kyle, you're up. Let's go.
Ah,
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 527. Today is October 11th, 2023. I am one of your hosts, Kyle.
I'm another host, Mo.
I'm Adriel.
Hey, and I'm Kelly. Woohoo!
Hey.
I was just resorting the names just like rapidly before we got going.
Yeah.
That's all that.
I think I got them wrong.
It's October 11th.
Yeah.
God, where did the year
Where-
go?
Yeah, the whole year is just gone.
Gone.
Maple seeds, 3-gun, all gun stuff. That's where the year went.
Gun stuff is good.
Yeah.
Gun stuff is
I
very
think that's
good.
a fair assessment.
Excellent.
Kelly, you haven't been on for a little bit. Why don't you tell us what you've been up to in guns?
I have not updated the show notes at all. So here's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot. So I've been doing maple seeds, a couple more maple seeds, a few more maple seeds, and a couple of maple seeds. That's what I've been doing, especially for shooting guns. Now, yesterday or last night, we did the She Shoots podcast. We did a special one. It's about hosting a ladies' range day. We had Jamie Lee. By the way, Adriel came on too. Adriel, you won a prize. I gave them your address. So if you see something in the mail, it's coming
What?
from us. You won a prize.
I want a prize.
How did you win a
did.
prize?
I hope it's like a Scentsy thing.
No,
Like
it's
candles and
Canada
stuff.
Ammo. It's a gift certificate for
Ooh.
Canada Ammo. It's a good one.
That's way better.
Adriel's gonna love that. So you are getting a prize in the mail. So if you haven't checked us out on the She Shoots already, go over and do so on the second Tuesday of every month. We do have our podcast, but like Adriel did, just comment on our podcast, and you too could win a prize. We have usually 3 or 4 prizes per week. It's really good. Come on over and check us out. We are going to be at the CCFR AGM. No, it's not an AGM. I don't know what it is. It's like a convention. I don't know. They have a whole bunch of different people they're going to be on. It's going to be happening on the 21st of October. So we're also planning master classes for She Shoots as well. We're going to have those up for people so that you can learn how to do all kinds of different things. So check that out too. What else is going on? Just we're winding down Maple Seed here in Ontario. I've got the last 2 events in Ontario for Project Maple Seed for this year. It's going to be happening at Stittsville Range if anybody's listening and they want to check it out. We still have spots available on Saturday. And I think that's about it, other than end of the month, I'm going to do a new intake for FRPC, which I'm excited about. It means we're getting our wait list down. And then perhaps I'm going to be shooting an indoor IPSC match on the 1st of December.
Nice.
Cool.
Other than that, I'm not busy at all.
That's all.
I'm done. Yeah. So what about you, Mo?
Lot less than that. I ended up selling my reloading press, the Dillon 650, to a
No.
Yeah,
Why?
I wasn't using it since I moved. I never put it back together, and I wasn't using it. I was just buying like factory ammo, so I figured I'd sell it. He was looking for one, so it worked out.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had a case feeder, mini Mr. Bullet, powder check. So it's a pretty good setup. So he's gonna be using it now. Picked it up the other day.
I hope it was a good price. I saw one recently listed at the range, and I'm going, oh, that's actually a really good price.
I gave him a friend discount. I'll say that much. Like
Excellent.
I tend not to. I'm always uncomfortable about that stuff. I'm totally cool with
10% over retail. Was that
Now,
was
is
that
this
the
like
friend
an
discount?
acquaintance friend discount,
No,
friend
no,
discount,
no.
best friend discount?
No. Not no, a friend. And so it's always that thing of like I want to like get what's somewhat fair, but not getting full value kind of in the open market, let's say.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
and that's how I do things. I mean, if it's a stranger, I have a price that I know that it's worth, and I'm just gonna stick to that. And if they don't want it, that's fine. But with a friend, I just come up with a number that I think is fair for me, fair for them, and I'm happy that it goes into somebody's hands that I know, and I'm not dealing with a complete stranger as well. So there's
Mhm.
that. I have a couple more things I'm going to sell too, because I have a lot of duplicates, especially for the rimfire world. I ended up buying with a couple of extras of things, so I'm going to start like slowly moving things.
So what you should be doing is reaching out to your co-hosts and giving them co-host discounts, because that's the thing to do. And then if you have anything else left over, then you can send it out to our listeners, because that's
What do you think is a fair co-host discount? Like
50%.
3.5%? What like
Mhm.
No, 50%.
No, we're gonna run arbitrage. We're gonna be buying your stuff and then reselling it on the market for a profit.
See, remember when you buy stuff, we remember when you bought it and how much you bought it for.
True,
Therefore, we
true.
can come back and say, "Hey, I
True.
remember when you bought that. I remember."
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we'll talk. What else did I do?
Richard's also saying, and the listeners.
had the
So,
listeners. Okay, Rich.
Co-hosts, listeners, friends, general public. I guess that's the list.
Oh boy, I'm gonna end up with nothing. What else did I do? I signed up for Kelly mentioned Stittsville. I signed up for a NIPSC match there. That'll be in a couple weekends. So
Awesome.
I thought that the outdoor season was over, but Stittsville added that match for late October. So that's going to be pretty cool. And no idea if it's going to be like freezing or a super hot day like it was mid last week, Kelly. I think we had some pretty hot weather.
Yeah, it took a nosedive quite quickly though.
Yeah, it went from plus 25 to almost minus 25.
10 degrees, 9 degrees.
Something like that. That's really it for me. How about you, Kyle?
I didn't really get up to anything this weekend. We got a new pup, so between work, the end of last week was not fun with work. Work until 3 a.m. and then getting up a few hours later to go back at it. So yeah, last week was not a good end for work. But yeah, new pup, so getting arranged and getting her trained up. But hoping to make a range visit this weekend, because I gotta put PCC trigger in the PCC and try that out. And yeah, I mentioned it to Timney about the bump firing that I had with that. And yeah, they confirmed in saying that PCCs are hard on AR triggers and that they recommend running a dedicated PCC trigger.
Okay.
Which, it was just temporary. I was planning on putting the PCC trigger in there anyways, but yeah, with that recoil and the light low reset, it's not the greatest combo. Well, I mean, it's awesome, but yeah. But yeah, that's really, I might actually take a buddy. He just bought a new Beretta 1301 built in Arizona that he was checking out, and he bought. So he was gonna give it to me and to shoot it, but I told him I can't take it and shoot it before he does. So we might actually go together to the range and just bring out some stuff and shoot. But yeah, Adriel, how about you?
Did some stuff. I went to that Mighty Peace 3-gun match.
Yeah.
So it was a 5-hour drive on Friday. Drove up there. A bunch of interesting things happened that have nothing to do with guns. One guy blew a tire, and then their spare tire was flat, and they had to get the wife to come and bail them out, and then they stuck them with the broke ass vehicle, all sorts of stuff. Guy had some heart issues, all sorts of fun, all sorts of crazy stuff happened just on the Friday before the shooting even began. And then then we made it. So camped out at the range and shot the match. And I have all my thoughts on. I put a video up on YouTube on it if you guys are interested in seeing more about that. But fun match, good time. I shot with Colin, who I shot with in Sherwood Park before. He's a hot shit shooter. I'm pretty good, and we did pretty well. We had a pretty hot shit match, so we won that thing. And
Nice.
yeah, they had a pretty good prize table. I won this hat.
Nice.
And I won a set of Walker Razor headphones, which I can just double up, right? Just put them on like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are the low profile. Those are nice.
This is how you double up Ear Pro. Whoop. So the match went well. I had some bio ammo that I've been shooting. I think it's been 2 years. It's starting to come apart. So I traded some to one of the other shooters who wanted it's 1.25 ounces, so it's a little bit heavier, a little bit more oomph, but still like reasonably priced. So I traded a couple boxes to a buddy of mine. He runs a gas semi-auto, and it is overgassed, and it ripped the rim off of the hull, leaving the hull inside.
Ooh.
And just pulling the rim out. That gave him a death jam. Luckily, that happened on the shotgun stage where it doesn't really matter because it's so short. So he was able, like his partner was able to do his shooting for him. But I had it. I had some of mine do that outside the gun. So like extracted them, and because it's an inertial shotgun, it extracted them gently enough to like just spit the crap out the ejection port, and I didn't have to worry about it. But I'm gonna have to shoot that ammo off like soon, so because if it's starting to do that, it's compostable ammo. I think it's just been in my house long enough humidity has gotten in there. It's starting to let go, and
It's starting to decompose.
Decompose, yeah. So we'll see. I got some 9mm brass from one of the people I carpooled with. So I tried, like, it's 5 hours of driving up there, so I tried carpooling with as many people as possible. Got 4 people in the van, which is nice. Got some really good mileage, and a couple other people did the same thing. Pack everyone in the vehicles. Anyways, great match, great food. Oh, they fed us good. Yeah. And the stages were fun too. It was kind of interesting how you got to shoot them one day, and then from one position, and because it was a team match, 2 people shooting, and then from the next day shoot it from the other position, and try to do better, or try to see if you could do faster in your partner or whatever. Anyways, it's a good time. My video's up. Yeah. If you want to see what it's like, just go to my YouTube video. For the video, I made it so like stage 1, day 1, and then stage 1, day 2, like right afterwards, so you can see it like back to back kind of a thing. Yeah.
Nice.
But good time.
That was so sad I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was good. I bought some so some of the other retailers, so Amazon's doing this like Prime Deal Days, which has nothing to do with guns, but all the other retailers are like, we're gonna do it too. So Bullseye's doing it, Wolverine's doing it, Cabela's is doing it. Wolverine had a pretty good sale. Yeah. And you know me, I see something that is a good price, and I buy it. Buy
low, sell high.
What did you buy? What did you buy?
Sell high. What didn't I buy? I think that was priced right, Mo. BX triggers, $63. Well, thank you very much.
$63. My.
Yes, I will buy 4 of them, please. And and then they had some shotguns. They had the Huglu or Hulu. I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce the G or another. I don't care. Huglu. Huglu sounds the worst. Let's call them Huglu. Huglu Atrox. So they had a pump action that's got I think it's a +2 or +3 extension on it. I think that extension is it's going to be Benelli Nova, I think, because that's what the Turk shotguns like to use. I've got a Gersan 312 over there that could probably take one of those. But if I were to buy the extension on its own, it's probably going to be like $120, $130, maybe, right? With shipping and all that kind of stuff. This full shotgun with the extension tube was $169. I'm going to pull the tube off. I'm going to put a cap on it. I'm going to put the tube on my 312 and call it a $50 shotgun for a pump. And then they also had a different Huglu inertial shotgun for $250, something like that. So I got one of those because why not? And then today I noticed they also had the TM22 on for a killer price. So I got one of those too. Credit card's just smoking now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta sell some shotguns though now because I have too many shotguns. So, and I got a semi-auto. I gotta sell maybe two 12-gauge semi-autos. Yeah, too many.
What kind of discounts do you offer, Adriel?
Have you met Adriel?
You're a capitalist. I forgot you have back
Although
supplies.
his co-host, he gives us pretty good deals.
I gave you a pretty good deal, Kelly.
You sold me a couple of guns, and you've given me excellent deals on all of them. Again, I knew what you paid for them, or what you paid for them originally. No, he does.
Yeah. So I gotta sell some shotguns. Lyman. So I bought a hand primer. Oh, it's right here. I bought this hand primer from them. It was a little bit out of spec, so I was monkeying around with I tried first these little ears here. I tried pulling them out so it would go more in. It wouldn't push the primers in enough. I have a couple different shell holders I tried it with. I couldn't get it to work with any of them. Tried a couple of them. Got the plunger thing out of here. I gave it to my welder buddy who burned it out, and so that didn't work. So I contacted Lyman. I'm like, yo, this thing didn't really work, and I messed it up. And they're like, okay, we'll send you a new one. So they put one in the mail, and that's on its way to me, which was nice to hear. Because I'm going to do a comparison between this and the old Lee primer. And I got another one. I can't remember which one it is. I'm going to do that. Rich is asking, did you sort out the accuracy issues on that Wrangler? No, haven't had it out to the range yet since then. I've been doing Maple Seed 4 weekends in a row. I don't want to take handguns with me, and then that kind of limits what is reasonably direct if I've got a handgun in the van. So I just don't take handguns when I go to Maple Seeds. And so I haven't had it out to the range yet since then. So I thought I was busy for November 4th, but it turns out that I'm not. I thought I was going hunting that weekend, but I'm not going hunting that weekend. I'm going the weekend after. There is a 3-gun match at Chaz. So I registered myself as an RO, and I registered both my kids as the shooters at that match. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. So Chris has indicated that his Wrangler is a laser. I'm not sure if that we did.
Mine's a gun. Mine's a gun. It's not a laser. It shoots bullets.
I'm not sure
what's wrong with his Wrangler. Maybe that's one of those wildly or something like that. Maybe it's a laser gun. Maybe he's still got the laser pointer in it. I don't know. But mine's not really a laser.
No.
Oh.
Wranglers seem to do well or not. There's no in between.
How do your guys? Are you guys accurate?
Mine's okay.
How many rounds do you have through it? I have probably 2,000 or 3,000 through mine.
Yeah, no.
Oh gosh, no.
Which is a lot for a Wrangler.
Yeah.
No,
I don't even have 100 through mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50. I didn't have the patience for more than that.
I have a couple hundred. That's it. Just because I bring them to lady shoots and
mine goes out. That's where all my rounds are from. Is from family days and ladies' days and that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it gets shot. And I take it out a fair bit when I take out other people as well. When I take out guests to the range, because
me too.
A cool revolver. They shoot it a couple times and wow, that's terrible. I hate that. Yeah, let's shoot something better. And then
that's what I say. I say, here, let's shoot this. And they're going, oh, so this is tedious and laborious. And I said, yeah, let's go and actually shoot a real gun. Okay, so
shoot something with a magazine, right?
Uh-huh.
Something that's those empties. I don't want to deal with those empties. Put them on the floor. Get them out of my way. Anyways, that's where I've got all those rounds for my Wrangler through. So I've got both my kids registered for a 3-gun match. I don't know if you guys know a lot about 3-gun, but the amount of equipment and ammo to pack for 3 people is insane.
Oh
Like,
wow, yeah.
my
Yeah.
bin, which is normally like lots of space. See that gray bin there? That's just got our gun belts in it.
Oh
It's
wow.
full to the top. Gun belts and like eye and ear pro, and she's chock full. So I'm gonna have to come up with some interesting ways of pulling all the stuff out there. I got I saw these come up. I'm like, oh, I want one of those. So I emailed Olight and I'm like, yo, send me one of these AFG light things. And they're like, okay. And they put one in the mail and sent it over to me. So I just thought it was neat because it's like I was looking at like there's that night shoot coming up at the PG thing, and I was like, oh, well, I got lots of flashlights and tape switches and all that kind of stuff. But what if you could just put one of these things on there and you got your light rack right there, right? So review coming soonish for that.
Hello, my name is Adriel. I'm the hunting gear guy. Do you know me? Send me free
Please
stuff.
send me flashlight. I want it. And they're like, okay,
Right?
sounds good.
Richard
You'd be
thinks
surprised, like just with asking what can happen for you.
Adriel, Richard thinks that you need an APC for all your 3-gun gear. Armored personnel carrier.
Oh, yes.
It's like a tank with
Or-
a big gun. Okay.
Or a battle van that's rusting out, and every time you hit a bump, I was driving back from Peace River. I'm like, this little girl, she doesn't owe me anything, and like instantly, bing, the ABS light comes on.
Yeah, you were thinking it.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's an ABS light. Who cares?
Yeah.
Anyways, and then this weekend coming up, I'm going through my PAL instructor course. So
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
coming up. I have no idea how fast that happens. If like, okay, I go through the thing, and then when can I start like, twirling revolvers and showing people like how to do the revolver ocelot thing, where you're like
Shaping
flip
young minds.
that or that, or that.
Are you going to work with
Colin should be able
Dave
to
at
tell
all?
you that.
Yeah, Colin should be able to tell me that. What's that, Kelly?
You going to work with Dave at all?
Who's Dave?
Dave,
Dave.
down in Calgary.
Dave in Calgary?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I can ask him. Yes.
All right.
Or Colin.
Oh,
I guess I know a couple of people who do this.
Or by the way, we had him on a show, right? About how
Yes.
long you could go back and listen.
talking about this. Yeah, talking about how to become a PAL instructor. Yeah, I think we did a show. We've
Yeah,
done
we
a
did.
show on everything though, Kelly. Got 500 episodes in.
At
We've done a
least,
show
at least
on
one of
everything.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we recently had a great idea. We go, we did that. Yep. No, we did that one too.
Mhm, mhm.
We're starting to
Yeah.
repeat. That's okay.
Fresh
It's okay
takes.
to-
Fresh
take.
takes.
Well, by now it's like we do a take, but it's like it's 5 years newer than our old episode. Things have changed, so we can do
Including the
new one.
hosts. The hosts have changed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Years too.
Get some fresh young people.
There you go. There's Colin.
There's Colin. Yeah, it took a month to get my certificate. Then you have to get your vulnerable sector check and ATT. I got one of those, but I'll probably have to get a new one. No, they're doing one right now. They just did one as part of the process, so that's done. And ATT. Well, that should be easy.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
A month. Okay. Probably about a month. Okay. Christmas then.
See, he was reading your mind.
Christmas courses.
Just-
Yeah. Yep.
I think you need more things to do, by the way. Adrian.
Yeah.
More things to do.
Yeah.
There's a couple
More-
weekends that didn't have anything gun related on them.
You're right.
Between the 15
Just-
maple seeds and the I don't know, maybe 3-gun matches did I do this year? I don't know, like 7, something like
You
that.
had an easier year with Maple Seeds because you had a few more people helping you put on matches this year, or courses this year,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, but I shoot bossed a lot of them,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all of them except for. Well, I guess I had some other shoot bosses with me too, though, so that made it easier. But I shoot bossed at 15 maple seeds this year,
Yeah.
which I think is
Wow.
more than last year, and definitely more than the year before that because of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID got in the way of everything.
Yeah.
But
I still think you owe me a sandwich.
you owe me from last year. I
No
checked
fucking
numbers.
way.
I beat you fair and square last
Yeah.
year by like 0.02%.
I was probably
Soundly.
the reason for that too. So
Are we doing like the one or the cumulative?
No, it's cumulative. I have a pivot table that
'Cause-
like does
yeah. Because I beat you this year as well.
this year period.
I whooped
Last
your
year
ass.
I beat you.
No, but we still don't have those in, so we're going the final.
Your lack
So
of
Russ,
putting data into
hey,
the
hey.
system is not my
I'm sitting
problem.
down. I still
So wait a
think
minute, you still don't have stuff in from last year?
no.
That's her excuse, and she's sticking to it.
Oh, time's expired.
I think
Well,
so.
If we're talking about specific events, I beat him last year. I did. However, that
Specific
being said, there's one sheet boss that still doesn't have his info in, and he's asked me to help him with that. So we're going to do
From
that. We're
last
going to
year?
finish it up. Yeah, listen.
Doesn't
been a rough
count.
year.
Statute of limitations is
Statute of
passed.
limitations. Shit.
Subway sandwich coming my way. I'll send one to you.
Okay, we'll
Gonna be
figure it out
respectful.
for
I'm
both,
gonna pass each
and
other.
then we'll look at it for individual as well. Because I had a huge one this year, bigger than last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you whooped me this year. Yeah. No way about that. Definitely. Anywho, that's what I got up to this week.
Okay. And we will get into upcoming events. And we got ORA sporting rifle matches on October 21st and 28th. You can check them out on Practice Score. ORA sporting rifle. As Adriel already mentioned, Chaz 3-gun match November 4th, and it is live on Practice Score. October 15th, this coming weekend, Sherwood Park will be hosting a Steel Challenge match from 9 to 5. You can register on Practice Score, free for all members. That's Sherwood Park Fish and Game Association. And then
Price is right.
BTS.
I said the price is right.
Yeah,
Free.
if you're a member. Yeah. What's the price for non-members?
I don't know, $500.
That's not
Uh,
It's probably cheap. It's probably like, I don't know. It's on Practice Score. For anyone who's wondering, just go on Practice Score.
BTSA, 2 matches next weekend. USPSA on Saturday with PCC allowed. An IPSC style rifle PCC match on Sunday. No black badge required for the rifle match.
Nice.
So I would imagine that is on Practice Score as well.
Hmm.
And the news. We already talked about it in the main topic, but the came out today. The Amnesty got extended till October 2025. Surprise, surprise.
I feel so good. I'm not going to be a criminal.
Me too.
I wasn't really worried.
Keeping the public
I know
safe
you
with
weren't.
letting you
I
hold
wasn't
on
either.
to safe queens.
Wondering how that's working because that'll be 5 years and we've had no incidents, is what they are.
5.5 years, yeah, by time.
How many years before that was there no incidences with any legally
Well,
owned ARs?
That
Decade.
is
Yeah,
all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
All.
yeah,
of
but they're
them.
so dangerous you can't take them to the range. But you can
Oh.
possess them till we can figure our stuff out on how to collect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on because it's also 9 and 10. Mike.
Drill Sergeant Kelly.
We
move on.
we go over this more in the main topic. So
Correct.
new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. The new boomstick. Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR, with a wide selection of guns and top training gear for any shooter. Free shipping over $250. Some exclusions apply, like ammo, and you can subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals.
They also have a wild selection. They got some M Carbo's stuff for sale right now. So if you don't know M Carbo, they've got like a bunch of trigger springs and that kind of thing that they kind of specialize on. So if you want to tune up like a pistol or some of the 22s and that kind of thing, or they have a bunch of stuff for the sub 2000 and the Ruger PC carbine. They got it all there. I was kind of looking at the Mosin Nagant trigger spring kit. I can't remember if I put one in mine or not, though. I might have. And I just forgot. I have to go look through my videos to see if I've done this already.
You've done somebody that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Bullseye North's got that. They also have some 410 coming in. So it's coming in. ETA is 6 to 10 weeks.
That's exciting stuff. Oh, okay. Never mind.
$33
Sterling?
for a box of 25.
Wow.
Mhm.
But it's in stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Adriel sent me some really good deals on shotgun shells.
but it was
You're
the
right.
wrong gauge.
It was the wrong gauge, but it was still
And
$40 a box. I'm going, oh, this kills
40
me.
bucks a box.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Those were these guys here. 24 gauge. I thought 24 was what you had, but you have 28.
28.
So I don't think I've ever actually seen someone with a 24 gauge then.
I've seen 24.
Have
I
you?
can't say I've
Yep.
even heard
of it?
24. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
16,
Yeah,
Yeah.
16,
12,
12,
10,
20, 28, 10.
28,
410.
yeah, 20,
Yeah.
410,
24.
24?
Mhm.
I can't imagine. I can't say.
No
I've
wonder
even
it's
heard
$40 a box.
You don't make it, right? They don't make a
Yeah.
lot of them.
of it. Mhm.
Mhm.
Anyways, Calgary Shooting Center is going to have some. They also have the Remington 700 Magpul rifle, which is a Rem 700, like
Yeah.
Magpul stock.
Yeah.
It's neat. Yeah.
It's a nice stock.
Okay, here's their sale is still on. Look at this. $162 for a pump action with the extension. I'm taking that extension. That's why I'm buying this thing. And then I'm going to resell the shotgun, capitalism, for $200
You go, Adriel.
with no extension tube on it. Sorry, it didn't come with that. It just comes with the cap.
Well, at least take a Dremel to that foregrip on your pump so that it doesn't cover the port, so it can say it's been customized.
Oh.
Put a sticker on there.
Yeah.
Right on the stock there, HGG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been kissed by my Dremel. I think it'll be worth less after that. But yeah, so I got one of those and I got one of their, what is it? One of those? No, that's that card. This guy right here, 287 for an inertial fire semi-auto. I don't know how many inertia actions they have in Turkey either. I would like to believe that this is the same damn thing as the 312. I would like to believe that. Whether it is or not, well, we'll find out. But for $287, I'll roll the dice. Anyways, Wolverine's got a bunch of sales like that. They got those Hulu shotguns. They've got the TM22s. Check out what the price of the TM22s are usually $500, right?
Okay.
431, 449, 449. So I asked them to put one of these in the order for me, but they haven't responded to my email yet. Hopefully they do that, because for 431, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I will buy it and review it and
cheap.
Sell it for more.
More capitalism.
More capitalism. Could also have some stuff for sale as well. I'm just gonna rip through. They have the stuff that they usually put for sale. The Walker razors, like I just showed there, they're for $49, $50. Ruger 1022 mags for $25. Cross mags for $55. That's 2 mags. Sig Romeo 5 red dots for $179, and the Spitfire 3X Prism for $350. So pretty commonly they put these on sale. Oh yeah, they got the BX triggers for $99 though. But now Wolverines has them even better than that. And this is a good price. Typically these things are like $125, like with nary a sale to find. So I don't know what these guys are up to. 760 by 39, non-corrosive for $12 a box. Pretty good. This is good, but it's only comes with a high mount, and unless you put this on like an AR, you need like a low mount. So cool dot, but needs a low mount. I don't know where you get the low mount or what it costs or anything like that. They do have some primers for $11 a box. That's enough stuff about Cabela's. And I think that's all the ones I wanted to bring up.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. We'll get on to the main topic. And thank you, Tracy, for coming on and filling us in once again. And we'll be talking to her probably in about a month's time, too, once we get a decision.
Yeah, actually, we probably will. Yep.
Yep.
Move on to listener feedback. And just in the comments here, we had one. Just a question. Can you hunt deer with an MRA and 300 blackout with a 16-inch barrel?
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole reason I'm getting that short barrel. I'm getting a 10-inch barrel. Never mind 16. I'm going real short. And I won't be using an MRA. I'll be using the SBI, but like same thing, straight pull bolt action. Yes. Short answer is yes. With a 16-inch barrel, you're going to get more velocity. You're going to want to run like a light, like a 110 to a 140, something like that. If you go too heavy on the bullet, you lose a bunch of powder capacity, and then you lose muzzle energy.
Yeah.
So you want like one of the lighter bullets within reason to put through.
Well, yeah, you're already on a smaller case. You want to try and get as much velocity out of that as you can. So yeah, lighter bullet, get more powder in there.
Mhm.
That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I got some copper 110s and I got some lead 125s that I'm going to try and see what they look like. You did miss one question in there though. It's critical. How soggy does a mailed sandwich end up, anyways?
Wow.
Well, we live in the days of DoorDash and such, so you can just order from the country and it arrives hot and fresh.
Right?
The blue cheese was mozzarella when I mailed it, but
Yummy.
I thought you were truly going to mail me the first year. I thought you were truly going to mail me a tuna fish sandwich
Oh, that would have been awesome.
in the mail.
disgusting.
I was so looking forward to it. Going to take pictures and everything, and then hurl quickly after.
Mailed tuna.
Aged tuna fish.
Ugh.
Mm.
Okay.
We did not get any emails last
No.
week, but we do have some YouTube comments. So, as per usual, our most loyal commenter, Tony,
Hey, Tony.
Prolific.
he says, haven't dealt with North Silva yet, have already heard of a lot of not so great things. And he also asks if there was a particular model of Vortex optics that is prone to failure. And
Well, he's a negative Nelly, isn't he, in his comments?
They are.
Well-
I think in that show we might have been talking about that, but
Yeah.
like, yeah,
we kind of
Okay.
brought that up. Yeah.
So
you end up.
North Silva's okay. Their customer service is a little, but at the same time,
You're a
guys are pretty
distributor,
good.
not a retailer.
Well, that's
That is
just it. Like
correct.
distributor, a little different than manufacturer or retailer. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But guys are awful nice.
Yeah.
I
haven't dealt with
I
them,
spent
so.
a lot of time at shows right beside them. So
And I know Vortex is excellent to deal with, whether it's Vortex Canada or Vortex US. They are not going to comment on the warranty side, but if you have a warranty, they are awesome to deal with, and they support the shooting sports.
Oh,
They do.
huge support for the shooting
Yeah.
sports. Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
here in Canada and women here in Canada, and yeah, if the warranty is no questions. So if you have any problems with their scope, just call them. They'll replace the scope, no problem. So
And he commented, "What are you laughing about?"
Look at the CCFR Discord chat.
Oh, I haven't joined it yet, so
No, me neither.
I've been busy on a podcast, so I haven't joined it yet. We got a comment from John Anderson. Or no, sorry, this is Tony again. The PSA 8Ks are still super affordable. I did see this comment and had a look. Yeah, they had one on for $600, but their normal stuff was still up to $1,000 for a normal AK.
What was wrong
so-
with the $600 one?
I don't know.
Nothing? Get that
I can't remember. It was a few days ago. Short memory. Actually, I can't remember. I can't even remember if it was like a Woodstock or synthetic, but yeah. But yeah, I mean they're another option out there, but they're still like their normal prices are still upwards of $1,000, which for a budget AK is still fairly high. So I'll get one, but. John Anderson says might be able to use an SKS shell deflector on that Type 81. Wish we could get them stateside. Guess I'll take cheaper everything instead. Ha ha.
There's such a thing as an SKS shell deflector? Oh, there is.
There you go.
Huh. I wouldn't want one of those in my SKS because I like using the stripper clips, but okay.
But your Type 81 doesn't even have the slots for the stripper clips.
Yeah, so no big loss there. Yeah, I posted on Instagram, and maybe here I talked about it as well, but the shells kind of like flick out the top, so it hits the scope. Or if you have a really long rail, you're going to get jams.
Yeah. And then we got Tony Wet tumble pistol cases without the pins. BTSA is quite a dusty gravel range. Just a quick clean so I don't kill the dies.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Just put them in a 5-gallon pail and just swish them around a little bit. You just get the dust off.
And then last week's, I think it's at PRCC. I think this is Lucas from last week. Commented on Adriel's first look at the Bren 2. I see what you mean now. That's a lot of plastic. I agree with the commenter who said that the carbine length gas system and short handguard provide poor proportions with the long barrel. Still a good option if you can afford it.
Yeah, it looks a bit goofy, but I don't really care.
And he commented on the High Point episode, saying at least it's not an M&M product.
Yeah.
And then our last comment on YouTube is from Tony, saying, spoiler alert-ish, I had some not so great experiences with Kodiak. I don't think my email inbox is broken, but I'm not getting any replies.
Poor Tony, not getting any love.
But Kodiak's email might be broken because I imagine they get a lot of emails.
Probably do. You're right.
But that is it for our YouTube comments. I haven't seen anything on Instagram, Facebook reviews, Discord. I haven't been following it. Adriel, has there anything on Discord tonight?
So a lot of those events were from people on Discord. And anytime they post anything that's like a good sale, sometimes I buy the thing. And then I talk about it on the show.
Okay. Also, we have a Cabela's link. So if you go to our website, or if you're going to buy something from Cabela's online, go to our website. We have a link on the website. Click that. We'll get a little kickback from that. And at the end of every month, we compile all the purchases used or bought with that link and read them out in either a public shaming or public congratulation. Like to thank our supporters on Patreon and Player. You can find us on both of those platforms if you'd like to support the show. And also, if you'd like to send the show an email, you can send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Yep.
And we will read it out on the show.
Yep.
Shout outs. Kelly, you got any?
Sure. I'd like to give a shout out to Kelly Kincaid. So Wednesday was her birthday officially. And you know what we did? We went out to the range and we went to shoot around a skeet. So it was nice. I was able to meet a couple of other friends. We spent the evening at the range with everybody that we love to hang out with, and then went out for dinner and drinks afterwards. So happy birthday, Kelly.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
Good night, Kelly.
No, not yet.
It's a little soon. It's a little soon.
All right, I'm out of here.
All
Bye.
right.
Who else? Mo, you got a shout out?
Nothing for me, no.
Okay. Adriel?
Yeah, to Steve and the guys from Mighty Peace 3 Gun that put on that match. It was nice attending someone else's match where you didn't have to like do a whole bunch of pre-planning and building and stage it. No, I just like showed up and shot a match and like helped pack up and then left. And I was like, oh, it's so nice. I gotta do more of that.
Awesome. And I do not have any shout outs this week. So with that, we will sign off. So join our Discord server, watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we will see you all next week.
Laters.
Later.
All right.